Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and super great episode of House of the Dragon. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on House of the Dragon by the latest episode, which is episode 7 of Season 2, you do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be going into spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, wow, what an episode. I mean, the previous one was pretty good. It was fine, but this one just blew it out of the water. I mean, for a show that has the word dragon in it, we certainly see the dragons occasionally, but not as much as me and other people would probably like to. But it was awesome how they basically took the center stage in this episode. Granted, so did most of our main characters, but the plot emphasis of this particular episode, this storyline, was centered around at least 3 or 4 dragons, and I loved every minute of it. Of course, it came at a bit of a cost, you know, all those poor innocent people who got burned and eaten alive by Rhaenyra's biggest dragon, but one of our common folk characters, Hugh, I believe his name is, was not eaten or burnt alive by her dragon and seemed to have calmed the beast down. And then just when we thought it was over, another guy who managed to escape, another common folk from King's Landing, even though he seemingly stepped on and crushed a nest of dragon eggs, which you think would automatically give him a death sentence, considering those are the dragon's babies right there, unless they were bad or rotten eggs or something. The dragon spares him, doesn't kill him, and then in the very next scene, he's showing off, flying all over King's Landing, having the time of his life. He's like, wee, whoa. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing too if I found out that a dragon had spared my life and allowed me to ride it. Oh gosh, that was fun. Just a fun episode overall. I loved how much of a focal point the dragons were in this episode. What I also really enjoyed towards the end there was that Aemond, who thought he was so special, being one of the few dragon riders in the world, is suddenly upstaged by some unknown rider, and it bruises and hurts his giant ego so much that without even a second thought, he gets on his horse, rides to his dragon, climbs aboard the beast, and then flies across to Dragonstone to confront Rhaenyra, only to find that there are far more dragons there waiting for him than he anticipated. And for the first time in a very long time, we see him look, if not scared, at least concerned. He even goes as far as to tell his own dragon, no, Vhagar, turn around, flee, and both of them flee. Even his dragon, one of the biggest beasts ever, was starting to act up and act a little frightened, or it didn't like what it was picking up on its sniffer. And even the big old dragon was like, fuck this shit. And of course, as was Aemond, which caused him to turn around. And then we get that awesome shot of Rhaenyra standing out in front of Dragonstone with her 3 dragons behind her, very reminiscent to Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, who for the longest time had 3 magnificent beasts at her back as well. So it's awesome to see Rhaenyra standing there with the dragons at her back, roaring in unison, and she starts to smirk. Like, her confidence is back. Like, her gamble paid off. Like, yes, some people died, unfortunately, but she has now found 3 new dragon riders, all of whom will probably pledge their loyalty to her. And now she's got a small squadron of dragon riders with fire-breathing dragons, and they could do a lot of damage to a lot of people and a lot of buildings. So it's setting us up for what I'm sure is going to be one heck of a Season 2 finale this Sunday. Unfortunately, I will be out of town, but I will watch it as soon as I get back. early next week, so I'm really looking forward to it. I hope I can avoid spoilers and stay off the internet long enough to avoid spoilers for the season 2 finale, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome, and I'm very excited for it. And I'm still excited I'm still coming down from the excitement of watching this episode because it was so fucking good, and it was a real highlight seeing those dragons at the center of the story, so that was a huge plus for me. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. What did you think of this episode and how fucking amazing it was? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. Have a wonderful rest of your night. House of the Dragon Season 2 finale drops this Sunday on Max. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.